Paul Ryan was also mentioned there, the former House Speaker, dismissing Trump's chances again of winning the GOP presidential nomination. He was asked about the race during an interview with New York Times Magazine. He said previously the primary field needs to stay small to prevent a split that favors the former president. Ryan telling the magazine, quote, "I don't think you can prevent people from getting in the race. What the party donors and influencers can do is to whittle the field down faster. You got 6% in Iowa, you got 8% in New Hampshire, get out of the race. But I don't think Trump is going to get the nomination," said Ryan. The ace in the whole reason is that he's unelectable. Even most of MAGA knows this. We're far better with X person. So, Gene Robinson, the question now is, who is X person? Nikki Haley's in the race. Yeah. Ron DeSantis, for the moment, is a theoretical choice, but he's certainly barnstorming the country on this book tour that looks a lot like a presidential campaign. So who is person X? And given the crowd, though not as large as some in the past, was very enthusiastic at CPAC for Donald Trump, and given the fact that he still leads every poll among primary votes in the Republican Party, who is person X that Paul Ryan's talking about?
You know, I have no idea, Willie. We have not seen person X yet, I think. I mean, we certainly, you know, DeSantis, when he gets into the race, we'll see if he, you know, has the juice to actually go up against Trump. Nikki Haley, I don't think is person X, and then who else is willing to step forward? I mean, but the approach that Karl Rove is taking and others are taking of sort of patronizing Trump. Oh, you know, isn't he cute? He's, you know, not great. He was okay, but he's the past. Why are they doing this? Don't they understand that if you're going to not have Donald Trump as your nominee, you'd better take him down. You'd better go after him because he is out there running for president. And yes, CPAC was kind of sad and weird this year, but in fact, he was there, and that's his crowd. And you got to take them away from him if you're going to be the nominee. And I don't see anybody doing that.
And Joe, it's not just Karl Rove who talks about Donald Trump like that. It's people running against him in the race who say, well, he did a lot of good things. I don't want to criticize the former president. If you're not going to go after the guy you're running against, why are you in the race?
But you talk to the Republican establishment and you talk to them behind the scenes, and they still will say, well, of course, if he's the nominee, we got to support him because Joe Biden.
Right.
God, Joe Biden, a socialist. When you have Donald Trump, again, they're acting like this is any other year. They're acting like this is 2012, like this is 2004.
Back to the carnage speech.
You have a guy who is talking about calling people villains who didn't vote for him, saying, I am your retribution. That's not stirring up violence. He's already stirred up violence on January the 6th. There's just been one fascist talking point after another fascist talking point through the years. This is fascism. You can't round off the curves and try to make it look pretty. It ain't gonna look pretty. And I am your retribution. I am your I've got a question. Is Trump their retribution for losing in 22 or 21? Is he their retribution for losing in 20 or 19 or 18? Is he their retribution for, like, seriously? This is like a guy who you think is going to go up and dunk the basketball, shatter the backboard. He stumbles and he can't even make a layup. Just call me retribution. No, you're a loser.
Oh.
You keep losing elections, and yet he pitches himself, Jen, as I am your retribution. They are the villains. Donald Trump doesn't understand today what he didn't understand from the very start, and that is politics is a game of addition. Early on, I tried to talk to people in his cabinet. Said, listen, this is simple. Politics is a game of addition. You want more people on your side. You don't want to go attacking everybody and turning them off. You guys need to be more inclusive. You need to open up. You need to try to get 50% plus one. It's a message he still doesn't. Why do I say this?
You said it every morning.
I don't say this, Jen, because it's the right thing to do, even though it is. I say this because they're going to lose again. if they get behind this guy, they keep losing. And they're going, why do we keep, I'll tell you why you keep losing. Because politics is a game of addition. And Trump is still in the business of subtracting every single day.
I was at CPAC. I met one person who had not been there before. It did feel a little diminished. The room didn't feel quite as big. The energy wasn't there. But still, when I talk to people about, are you concerned about having President Trump run again, be the nominee again, given the losses in 22, the loss in 20, and they just say no. They really believe in this guy, and it's not that they don't like DeSantis. They do. They think they can have it all, right? They think that they can have Trump in 24. They can keep Ron DeSantis in Florida, and then DeSantis can run in 28. And they think all of this can work out because they believe their conspiracy theories. It was all through the weekend at CPAC. I felt like the CPACers themselves are bumping into their own conspiracy theories. Kari Lake came out on top of the vice presidential straw poll, right? The number one pick to be his running mate. And then her team said she can't be the running mate because the governor of Arizona can't also run for vice president. OK, so that is the kind of reality that they are living in.
Yeah, Kari Lake won. Nikki Haley was the one other candidate who showed up, or the one other potential candidate. They all ran away from CPAC. She made a speech there, was booed at times, went out into the hallway, was surrounded by people chanting Trump 2024, and chased into an elevator. So that's how that goes for opponents of Donald Trump there.